Hey friends, it's Amanda here with Mettle Modern Design and Deep South Shelling coming to you live tonight on behalf of our friends at Essential Stencil. It is Stencil Monday, and so this is where you will find me using stencils and transfers from Essential Stencil. Tonight we're going to be using an oldie but a goodie. We're going to be using the Seahorse Stencil. I'm going to be using a paddle board because it's easy. It's something that I have on hand, but you could do this kind of finish on a porch board or any kind of board. We're going to be doing a coastal dry brush. We're going to be using some molding paste to do a raised stencil design. So, okay, let's start with this board. I'm going to angle you down. Now, one of the things I'm always going to start with when I'm doing a dry brush technique is I'm going to start with a stain. I'm always going to start with a stain of some color. And I brought some gloves in. We're just using our Harbor Freight stain sponge, and we're going to stain this up. Just this nice, I would say this is more of a medium brown. It's not too dark, and it's certainly not light. I'll just take a little gander, make sure we're all good. It does not have to be perfect. Okay, because we're about to make it real imperfect. On this one, the sanding it back just so it feels nice when I touch it. What I'm going to be doing is dry brushing on to create a coastal look. So we're going to use some white paint. We're going to use some blues. We may just go ahead and do all Waverly chalk paints for this. You could use acrylics. Either one works. This is the color plaster. So let's just start up here at the tip top. And I leave these little strings on for now because it helps me manipulate the board. And so I'm just going to kind of come in and just start to drag some paint kind of around that. And again, the thing about dry brushing is it's kind of looking aged and coastal, and it's not perfect. It's supposed to look weathered. That's the whole point of the dry brushing. I've got a celery right here. It's a light green. We've got the moss that's a little bit deeper. I think what we'll do is we'll pull out some of the celery. We don't need a ton of it. We might need more than that. We'll see. I'm just going to use this same brush. It's going on the same piece. It'll be fine. Cap that up a bit. We might add a little bit of the moss as well. So we're just going to grab some of the celery. Just going to give it some different dimensional color in there. And so we've got our white. I'm going to start kind of up here. You can turn the brush different directions to get a wider stroke or a narrower stroke. We're just bringing in some additional color here. And again, this can be chunky or not so chunky. Celery, we're going to come in with it just a little bit lighter stroking. Then we'll grab the moss for a little bit deeper color, strokes of color. And you can do this as light or as heavy as you want the color. You can do as much of this or as little of this as amuses you. There's no right or wrong. This is just a sanding block I got from the Dollar Tree, and it's pretty coarse. So this will pull back the material. And I want to do that just to pull back a little bit of that wood finish. Okay, I'm going to move this paint and my chip brush back here so I don't get my stencils in it. And I'm going to kind of tilt my sign this direction a little bit. And the Seahorse does not fit this particular paddle perfectly, but it will get most of it on there. So I'm just going to back it up as good as I can. It will come off the piece a little bit, and that's going to be fine. So I'm going to be using a light molding paste. The difference between using a spackle or like a joint compound or something like that, plaster of Paris, there's a lot of different substrates you can use for raised stenciling. This is an actual professional product. So when you add it's a texture medium. And so when you add your color to it, it will hold color and not degrade the color. It's also not as like crumbly as some of the other things that you could use. See, I'm gonna grab we'll just grab this and I'll put this here. And I'm gonna grab a stick, and we're just gonna pull out some of the light molding paste here. We're going to pull out the color Agave. Again, I should have cleaned it off a little better. And we're just going to get a little of this color in here. And so you can tint it And I think that's one of the best benefits to it. Okay, so I've got my stencil down, and all I'm gonna do is I'm just going to smear this over the top, just right over the top. Now, you guys know, I'm sometimes bad about washing my stencils. They still work fine. If you could see this stencil, let me show you. It's white on this side because I've painted a white seahorse I've did many times, and on this side it's black because I've also painted a lot of black, like darker colored seahorses. That's actually probably navy. So sometimes I'm bad about it. It doesn't affect your ability to use your stencils, but if you take care of them, they'll last you a long time. I've probably got 5 or 6 sets of this particular stencil because I love it so much, and I've used it in workshops and whatnot. But when you are using a raised product on it, you don't want this to dry on here because it will dry on here and create texture, and you don't want that with your stencil. So if you're using a product to create a raised stencil, you want to make sure when you're done, you go in and you wash it. You just got to wash it with some water in your sink. You can wipe it off with a Clorox wipe, get most of it off, and then just wash your stencil in your sink. Smooth it a little better. Just smooth it a little bit so it's not so. Just smooth it and pull it off. Okay, I'm just gonna lift it up. Ooh, she looks so pretty. And see, we will take this in and wash it. And see what I mean? I've used it a lot of times, a lot of ways. Okay, right at the edge where it went off, I'm just gonna pull that back, wipe that away. She looks good. Let me show you. You could have even gone with a darker paint, but let me show you how she looks. And she is raised. You see that she's raised. Okay, so let's heat that up a little bit. But I do have another little stained piece right over here behind me. I'm gonna set that down. And it's just sitting here, just waiting for a project. She's lonely. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna lay it down. Across the top a little bit. Just a little bit. Okay. So I'm gonna hinge it back. We just kind of got, oh, I don't like that. I don't like that because it almost looks like a bird or something. But you can kind of see the dimension. It creates something nice. And I hinge it back. I'm gonna grab a stencil brush. Hopefully this doesn't flatten out what we've already done, but I'm just gonna grab this brighter color here. Just gonna kind of paint it on a little bit. Okay. Hinge it back, pull it off, and now, again, what have I done? Hold on. We're just gonna kind of stencil over some of this color. I don't know. I'm not loving it. I'm not loving it. So probably what I will do is dry it up, sand it back a bit, and then use it as a background for a different stencil. A bit more subtle. Okay. Now here's what we've kind of got for a background. We could put this crab right on here in a white. Okay, lift. Oh, we got a dollop all the way over here. Okay, lift and offload. And so now we've just got a sweet little crab on that background. And so like I said before, with a background, if you see the imperfections of the background before you have the final piece on, your eye is drawn to what's imperfect. And so when you add the whole piece, it starts to completely come together. And now it's pretty. What do you guys think? I think it looks like it was intentional all along. Only we know that it was a little bit of a faux pas. And now it just looks like a piece that I intended to create this way. So we've got our very coastal. Do you see? Maybe you can see if I hold it to the side a little bit. The contrast is there. It's just kind of deadened in the bright light. And if this was bothering you, if you thought it was too light, you could put it back down and add some additional color. You can also add different pastes and stuff after the fact. But I think these turned out really pretty. I'll have to take some pictures so you can see. And so I appreciate each and every one of you for showing up tonight. I will be back again next Monday night at 7 p.m. Central. You will want to tune in. Make sure you're here. It's going to be very important. We'll do something beautiful and coastal next week. And you guys be blessed, take care, and I will see you very soon. Bye, friends.